So that let me know if we can start. Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to Packaging Live. This is an exclusive live demo on HP Latex R series printer from HP Barcelona Center of Excellence, which is being organized by Pack Plus and would like to inform you and would like to welcome you all to this unique curated session. Thank you for taking out time and being here today. Today's topic is advancement in hybrid printing, ease of printing for rigid and flexibles. Listen to subject matter experts and gain valuable insights on how to increase productivity with a smarter printing solution. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. Recording version of webinar will be available on demand, so don't worry if you miss anything. The attendees can post their questions in the Q&A box, and we will be running those questions in the end. HP Latex R printer series transform rigid printing in ways you never thought possible. This is the only true hybrid solution, equally strong in both rigid and flexible, that allows to achieve amazing colors, media look, and feel with the glossiest white and enables you to increase your productivity with smart printing. So say yes to short runs and create a high impact customized packaging. Flexible HP latex inks allow super bending and folding without cracking. This enlightening session will be addressed by Terence Raghunath, formerly known as Terry, who is the Worldwide Business Development Manager at HP. Thereafter, we have a live demo of the machine from Center of Excellence, Barcelona, showcasing live printing on various packaging material. Now, without a further talk here, I return the time over to Terry. Terry, over to you.
Thank you so much, Rima. Namaskar, everybody, and I'm calling you from a sunny morning Barcelona here, and I'm going to show you 4 slides, basically, or 3 slides and a video, to talk a little bit about what's going on in packaging. And there's a lot going on in packaging. Packaging basically is growing. It's growing very, very fast. It's double-digit growth. Specific countries like India, specific areas like Asia are the areas that are basically driving this growth. And basically the reasons for this are, you can see in this slide here, and I'm just going to make it a little bit easier for you to see. Just a second. Modern technology. I'm going to share a bigger view of the screen. Just a second. Bear with me. 2 ticks and I can show you. Okay, so here are some of the aspects that are driving growth in packaging. Some of them are you're well aware of. Basically, it's an explosion in consumer products, not only driven by the big consumer brands, but also driven by e-commerce. There's a huge part of this is also driven by crafting. So basically, thanks or no thanks to the COVID situation, we're all confined to our home spaces, etc. And there's a lot of people now actually producing craft products, which are being sold on internet as well. So who of us doesn't know or doesn't have a friend who's making custom jewelry, or a friend who's making custom face masks, etc. Right? So this kind of stuff is driving packaging as well. Take into account also that technology is driving a lot of this as well, because as you heard Rima mention earlier, you now have technology, and the R series is one good example, where you have a printer now where you can actually print packaging that looks like a professionally made package basically, which normally you would see printed in factories who are printing hundreds of thousands of these boxes. But now you can actually print 1 or 2 or 5 or 20 of these boxes with your machine, and the packaging is no less professional than something that is made by a packaging company. And we'll show you some examples. My colleague Ignazi will show you a few as well later on in the demo. But you get things like this, for example, which looks highly professional. The colors are incredible. Look at the depth of the darks, of the blacks and the whites that come out. Red is typically a color that's very difficult to hit. We can hit it very, very well with this technology. And very important to know also, a lot of the custom packaging that's printed today digitally is typically printed on UV technology, which basically means that when you fold, the folds crack. With the latex, they don't. Just a few of those aspects to take into account as we're talking about packaging. Now, I won't go into all of the details that you see here on the screen, but I'm sure you're well aware of the fact that customization is a big thing. Variable data is a big thing now. Big brands acting like small brands acting like big brands, and packaging basically is the vehicle that is allowing us all to do this. Um, Customers who are adopting this kind of thing, basically you can see it coming from three different areas. One is customers who are doing display units. I'm imagining some of you are doing this already. So here's an example of one customer in a faraway Argentina who's doing this. Basically, their bread and butter business basically is what you see on the left. It's display units mainly for supermarkets and retailers basically. And he's basically said, I want to diversify into not just doing point of sale material, but I want to diversify into something a little bit more customized, which is personalized gift boxes. And he's basically gone into the wine industry where he's doing packaging for wine bottles, basically. And those packagings can include images like what you see on the right there, which is automobile based. For someone who likes cars, or it can be, and in the middle you see their images of dance, someone who likes dancing, for example. So it can really, really be ultra customized. So what he's effectively done with packaging is to say, I'm using the same material, uh, um, corrugated cardboard, etc., and I'm just making a different product with it, which is packaging. Or I'm using other materials like the one in the middle you see there, which is wood. With the R series, by the way, you can print on flexible, and you can also print on rigid materials. So you can print on woods, you can print on aluminiums, you can print on perspex and different kinds of materials like that. So it opens up
No,
a number of other.
they are.
Okay, another example, this time in Europe, is a very similar case, which is an Italian company who's also doing point of sale material, as you see on the left. And what he's going to do now is what you see on the right. Now, an interesting um, uh, piece of information here, and some of you may have experienced this as well, with us being confined now, having experiences or having events, person to person, in-person events like we used to have before, are no longer taking place. So very often what tends to happen is that we do online events like we're doing today. And in some cases, we even do an online event where you get a party pack sent to your house, which could be a box including some snacks, maybe a box including some photographs or whatever. So basically a special gift box sent to your house to enhance the experience, to enhance the experience of the event, which we're no longer holding face to face, right? So this special box opportunity has grown, and this particular company, Color By in Italy, has actually made an extra revenue generator for them by making specialized boxes. In continuation, I'll show you the last thing I would like to say, which is a video in this case of a gentleman in the United States who's actually diversified from a different, you've seen here, point of sale people diversifying into packaging. And now you're looking at a packaging person with using very different technology, diversifying into making custom packaging. So he's making basically um, industrially produced volumes to shorter run volumes. The problem for him was, and a lot of the customers that we have until now such big machines that have limited or at least a minimum order quantities. With a machine like the R series, you no longer have to send customers away because they want 15 boxes. You can actually serve them now as well. Let me show you the video, and you'll see what I mean from what this gentleman is telling you.
We've been considering a large format upgrade for quite some time. There was a lot of anticipation waiting to see the HP Latex R2000 Plus. Once you see what you can produce on this device, it is really eye-opening. It's like nothing else out there on the market today.
It's
Superior Packaging is different than the competitors. We like to say we specialize in the impossible. So we really take on those extreme challenges. We were looking at another method of production to expand into a much more cost-effective, faster turn time packaging space. Having a long-standing relationship with HP on the Indigo side made it pretty easy for us to transition into the large format side. I think we had the utmost confidence that we were going to have the same type of results and success that we've had in the past. The HP Latex R2000 has expanded our capability set and allowed customers to achieve the quality results that they really want. Where we had traditionally been turning away business, we no longer have to do that. HP Latex has been a game changer for us. Every day is something new. I think the future for Superior Packaging is bright. We look forward to creating more unique products, and HP is going to help us get there.
Okay, having said that, I thank you very much for your attention, and I'd like to hand you over to my colleague in the Barcelona Experience Center, Ignasi, who will take it from here. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Good afternoon from Barcelona, sunny and cold morning. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, Tim. So here we are. Today, we have seen some of the advantages, and Terry mentioned some of the benefits that we have thanks to our R2000 hybrid printer. The aim of this half-an-hour session is to see the details on how are we printing, which are the benefits that we can bring to mainly the packaging market. Although we know and we see that the versatility of this printer allows us to have a huge variability of applications that we will also see at the end in the application session. Said that, behind me, the R2000, our true hybrid printer, 2.5 meters width. This is the big brother. We have as well the smaller one, which is the 1.6. Okay, both of them roll to roll and rigid, and with the whitest ink in the market. Said that introduction, I will send the print. I have prepared a queue of 3 different materials to be able to see different type of materials for the packaging world. We have folding carton, thin materials. We have a big board of 1.6 millimeters thickness, and then we also print on craft of 4 millimeters. Okay, to make sure that you see a little bit of different of the different possibilities of this machine. I have prepared the queue, and this is one of the benefits. That is the productivity of this machine. What I'm going to do from start is to launch the print, and then the machine will warm up, will start printing, and you will see that from time to time, our green light that I have here will become yellow and will ask me to load the next board. Okay, this is the system that we have created to make sure that the machine is always in continuous printing. It doesn't matter if we are changing the size, if we're changing the thickness, or if we're changing the print modes, that we will always keep the machine at the highest productivity point. So said that, I will launch the print. And just 1 minute before we will start on printing, I will start talking about one of the secrets of this technology, which is the latex technology. What that is the ink delivery system. So here we are. So our latex technology became 10 years anniversary last year, but has gone through different stages, as you probably will know. But at the end, the secret, it's been the same, no? And now we are already on this 4th generation where the ink now behaves really good as well on these rigid materials, thanks to the R2000. So what's the secret? It's in the ink as itself. So what we have inside these boxes is the latex ink that it's made by 3 components, mainly water. So it's a water-based ink. Then we have the pigment, the colorant, and then we have the latex particle. Okay, at the end, the secret of this is that we are applying the 3 layers and we are evaporating the water, and there we are melting the latex. We are encapsulating the latex, the pigment particle with the latex particle. As a colored boxes, we have 6 colored boxes, which have been always the same in our latex, which are the CMYK plus the light cyan, light magenta. For this machine, the temperature of curing, of melting this latex has been reduced by 20%, which allows us to print on materials that we were not able to print before. At the same point, this has given a bigger color gamut to ensure that we have more vibrancy on the colors and more quality in our prints. Then on the bottom, we have 3 different boxes. One is the optimizer that we probably will know from previous versions. That is an agent that we put under the ink to make sure that the ink goes on the spot that we want. And then the overcoat. That this is one of the, as you can see in this video, is one agent that we put on the top to protect. It's the anti-scratch agent that we call. This agent previously was inside the ink in the previous versions. Now it's in a different channel to make sure that we can adapt to the medias. We can play and we can put more or less depending on the materials, or even remove it. So as you can see in the video, we will first put the optimizer, then the colored ink, and then the overcoat. And finally, last but not least, we have the white. As you can see, white has 2 pumps to make sure that we always have a macro circulation, okay? The white circulation will be explained on this video.
This is a new beginning. The world's first white latex ink, formulated by HP. Not only is it low maintenance and practically waste-free, it's also whiter and glossier than any white ink you've ever seen. How does it work? You're about to find out. White ink is naturally denser than other inks. But just like blood is pumped around the body, HP Latex White ink is pumped around the printer to keep it in print-ready condition. So, are you ready to go inside? Now you're traveling through the printer's circulatory system. The white ink is pumped around these tubes at periodic intervals until finally it reaches the printhead. And the HP Latex White printhead is no ordinary printhead. Look inside. Can you see the white ink circulating? Even on this tiny scale, it's kept constantly moving. And that's not all. When not in use, the white printhead can be removed and stored. With UV technology, the white printhead requires daily purges. Like a dripping tap, each drop wasted is money down the drain. With HP Latex White ink, however, that tap is finally closed. Stored in an offline rotation chamber, the ink is kept in perfect condition, ready for the next white print job. In fact, everything about the HP Latex White ink system has been designed to remove the limitations of the past and making printing with white easy. And
so you have seen a little bit of this taste of what the white ink, how in the white ink works. So basically, the machine has been printing, and as you can see, we have the light, that orange light that is asking me for the next media. So I'm going to go to the back of the machine. And here we have our loading area. So the light is on, which means that it's ready to be loaded the next board. That is this 2.4 by 1.6 corrugated cardboard, F-loot, 1.6 millimeters thickness. Once it's ready, the only thing that I need to do is to click and tell the machine that the board is ready, and it will take the board inside to start printing. We have changed from small boards and a small folding carton material to this one without touching the machine, only by loading. We will go back to the input output of the printer. So this is the output. So here is the first prints are already done. So this means that our prints are finished and are ready to be cut for the application. Okay, so our system that we have here is our curing system that is applying heat on the top of the material to make sure that we are melting this latex and we are curing all and evaporating the water. Thanks to this is already finished and it's already able to be cut and creased. So if I take this morning, I took the time and I used my machine, my cutting machine, to cut one of these files, okay, to be able to do one of the boxes that we will see later on, okay. Which is the advantages of this of the latex ink that we will also see at the end, the flexibility, okay, that is not cracking on the edges, and this gives you a lot of quality on the prints. As we have a big board coming out, I will take this and I will remove this from here. So we talked about the inks. What we need to talk now is about our technology, thermal technology, okay, our printheads. This is the technology that we're using, the thermal printheads, and which is advantages of it is that we have 1200 dpi resolution native, okay. This native resolution is the one that is giving us the quality and the details in our prints. Thanks to this as well, we are able to control each of the nozzles, and we are able to have nozzles to compensate. So every time we print, we are using a system that is checking the nozzles and is detecting if there's any missing nozzle to be able to replace it. So quality-wise will not affect in our printer if one of these printheads is partially not working, because the system will compensate. So this has a life, and the end user, it will be the one that will replace this printhead. As you can see, we will only have to pull this out and we'll replace it. Thanks to this, the end user can replace it without the intervention of any technician. So the first pillar of our inks was that is water-based. The second is the easy to use. So end user can replace this without intervention, and with 20 minutes of maintenance that the machine will do automatically, we will have the printhead new installed in the machine. And talking about this easy to use, we have to talk about maintenance. So these machines and all the printing machines, they need maintenance. In the case of our R2000, this maintenance is self-done. So we have a system here, which is the cleaning roll that it cleans. As you can see, while we're printing, every pass that we do is cleaning, as you can see on this video, is cleaning the printheads. So we have this blade that is coming up, and in every pass that we do, we are wiping the printheads to make sure that we have the quality of the printheads in the best performing the best quality in every single pass. This cleaning is happening before we print, after we print, and during. And there's no need from the operator, as you can see, to wear gloves every morning, to start wiping manually. And this is one of the key points of this machine. So this system is a roll that will wipe the printheads every time. So as you can see, so the print is coming out. Okay, in this case, we are printing, as I said, the E-flute 1.6 millimeters thickness. Remember that on the R2000 and also on the R1000, we can print up to 5 centimeters. Terry mentioned in the beginning that we are able to print that we can print wood. Of course, we can print wood up to 5 centimeters. We can print every material, rigid material that comes to our minds. Okay, as you've seen, now the printer has stopped printing. Okay, it's curing, it's just melting, and now in a few seconds the light will turn on and will ask me to load the next board. Okay, so what is as well the secret of being able to print on this material, on this type of materials, is our belt system. Our belt system has two main motors that will drive this belt. First of all, and two main characteristics. First of all, we have our OBAS that we call, that is our optical belt advance sensor, to make sure that the belt advances all at the same. And then second, we have our vacuum system. So we have a vacuum system of 14 different zones in our machine that are, as you can see in this picture here, that are showing that are making that we have the strongest vacuum in each of the areas of the print. So once again, our light has become yellow. This means that we are able to load the next board. So I will go to the back of the printer. So now we have prepared here a craft box, okay, corrugated cardboard of EB float for is 4 millimeters. And the only thing that I will need to do is to place it on our machine and to say that the board is ready. As you can see, we are just advancing to the point and the machine will start printing as soon as it's ready. We will print with white on this material, okay, because it's a craft media, and one of the applications that we can do are boxes, but playing with the white, thanks to the R2000, we'll be able to have a really nice and cool applications. So you see that our print is coming out and the carriage is moving. So the carriage is printing the latest board that we have. What we have print here, as you can see, is gift boxes, okay, with this, it's kind of orange red that we have here. I took as well this morning the time to cut it in our cutting machine. Okay, this was printed this morning and it was cut. So as you can see, and we will see later on, the advantages of our printer, that it doesn't crack the ink at all. Okay, so thanks to this, so we can do personalization of the boxes. In this case, this box has my name on it. Okay. So I will remove this board from here while the machine is printing. So now we are printing the craft with white. When we talk about white, we are able to print in 4 different modes that we will see in the machine. We can print with white a spot, which will be only white on the print, where we can print as well white under float, white under the color to make sure that we are pumping the colors up. We can do white over float in the case that we are using transparent materials that we want to see on the other side. We'll see it later on. And then we have the sandwich modes. Sandwich modes will have color in both sides with a layer of white in the middle to make sure that we have a good opacity and we have mirror images that we can print. Okay, so one of the things that as well we are facing when we're printing on corrugated and we're printing on cardboard is that we have materials like the ones that we've been printing that are coming in a good status, but some of them, so they are trying to go and to lift the edges, which it complicates the part of printing. Our belt system, it has, as we said, a huge and a big vacuum system that will bring this material down and fix to the belt. But some of the materials might come damaged, or they come with the edges just lifted. Is why we have one accessory that we call the edge holders, that are basically one of these skis that I have here, that very easily, as you will see now in a short video, we'll introduce these skis all the way to the machine to make sure that they are they are keeping the material down, as you can see on this video. In a very easy way, we can fit it in, and we make sure that we are keeping the edges flat completely. Okay. So material, as you can see, is starting to come out. This craft media, we have printed this only with white. Okay, and now the machine will not ask to me to load more media because the queue that I have prepared it's over. So there's nothing else that the machine needs to print. So the machine is not asking me more material. The only thing that will do the machine is to stop and cool down. Okay, in the case that we have more materials to print, I would be able to keep on preparing and keep on adding queue materials to our queues. Okay, so what I'm going to show at last here in the machine, what this is finishing, is the part of roll to roll. We have been printing different types of materials, different type of sizes, but we'll know that this is a true hybrid printer, and I will show you why. So to load the rolls, will go as well to the back of the printer. So here we are in the back of the printer. So basically what I'm going to do, first of all, is to remove the table. Okay, these tables can be removed really easily. So only need to take out the latches and remove the table. Even I can close the table to make sure that they are taking less space. As you can see here, we have the part of the loading the roll. We have two systems. One is the loading roll to roll perfectly when we need to print a full roll. Another one that I will show you later when we only have to print a few meters. That is it saves much time. So once we need to print the roll, we will have to fit the roll in our spindle. We have to inflate to make sure that is tight on it, and we'll have to come to our front panel to say that we will go and we will load a roll of, in this case, self-adhesive vinyl. I just launched this action, and now we'll see that the light will come on. As you can see, that means that we have a little bit of vacuum turned on. What I'm going to do right now is to fit the material in, and when we go on through hybrid, we know that these belt systems are not working sometimes really good for this type of applications. Why? Because if I load this material with a little bit of a skew, only, for example, 2 millimeters of skew, unskew, 2 millimeters, but the full roll at the end, it's a huge telescope that we can have on the other side, and this might cause problems on the image quality. So we came with a system that it doesn't matter how good or bad are we aligning, that the machine will align the skew automatically. As you can see, I will load the material in a bad position, and I will just take the button, and you will see that how the machine is aligning automatically the skew of the material. It will require a couple of these procedures to make sure that that our material is perfectly aligned to be able to print full roll, okay, of 50 meters, 60 meters, whatever we need to print in a perfect status from input to output. Okay. So we said that we have two systems. Well, this is loading, that now we will have the carriage moving and checking the width of the material. I will show you the other system in the case that we are printing and we are producing our production of boxes of different types of material rigid, and we need to stop the productivity for only printing a few meters of a vinyl, of a banner, of a film, whatever it is, in a roll. We can do it like this way, but we can also use these systems. Okay, these are the top table holders. The top table holders are these pieces that we will place on the top of the table, and we will put the roll on the top of the table, and we will fit it as if it was only a board. In this case, will be a roll. Thanks to this system, we are able to print and be fast on loading between jobs that we have on production of rigid materials. So our media is loaded. So now we'll go now to the input, where we have here our print, okay, with white. We see that, so we are printing with white. In this case, we've been using a really fast mode, okay, because for this type of applications, so we don't need to spend more time. We need to be slow on productivity. The only thing that we need is to have it printed. We have the details. We have the same quality that on the colors. And if we need more white, we are able to increase the amount of white. So while machine warms up for the print of the self-adhesive vinyl, we'll have a look on the applications area. So let's go there. See there. So here we are. So at the end, this area has been created to make sure that we have a taste of everything that this machine can do. At the end, when we are loading the materials, we are loading different types of materials, but at the end, these materials will become on applications, okay? The boxes will become boxes for gifts, boxes for products, displays, but as well, when we print textiles, we become to front lids, or we come to posters, or we come to other applications. So by talking about packaging, so here we have some of the packagings. In this case, this is one of the boxes that we have been printing in the beginning. Okay, the only thing is that in this one, we add the film with white as well printed on the box. Okay, so this is the finished box already. Okay, and finished and closed box with these details. So thanks to the white, we are able to add these details and playing with different types of materials to make sure that we have nice boxes of these ones in different sizes, of course. And this can be printed on demand. Why? Because the importance of this is that it doesn't matter for the machine if we are printing one single box that if we have to print 100. As you have seen, we are always able to personalize and to print different type of materials, even if it's one, okay? We have been using this type of material for small boxes as well. We were printing with white, in this case, printing only with black, okay? This is printed in a very, very fast speed. So this is printing at almost 90 square meters per hour, this box, and this can be a personalized boxes as well, okay? These craft boxes with cheap materials, but adding a lot of value to the product with the personalization and customization, okay? So we said that we have really cheap materials like the craft, but we also have different type of materials which are a little bit more complex. Okay, we have these aluminum materials that we can print, and thanks to the white, we are able to have and to play with the colors and have this effect that we can see in these boxes. Packaging world is huge, and you can see that we can do a lot of different type of things. Okay. When we go to more corrugated packaging, we have the typical box that we would do. Of course, this machine is not meant to have a huge productivity of thousands of boxes. It's meant to add value on the personalization, add value on the printing on demand, or be able to create this experience of the packaging, okay, to make sure that the application it becomes a high-end application. And thanks to our R2000, so the ink is not cracking, to the flexibility, and we have a really deep and nice colors, as you can see with these blacks and these reds. And this, it's printing at 6 pass. So when we talk about 6 pass, we're printing about 50 square meters per hour. Okay, so we are printing with a huge color gamut and in a high speed. So the same material that we were using, the craft in the beginning. So in this case, by printing with white. Okay, so in this case, printing with white, we are able to perform this type of applications. Okay, at the end, it's a more high-end application where we can personalize as well and print on demand. And regarding the packaging world, as we talk about, and as Terry said in the beginning, we also have to mention the part of displays. Okay, in this case, we have a display. This is meant is created not in packaging, is created not in folding in corrugated cardboard. Is do it with foam board. Okay, at the end, it's just about having ideas and to create to create this type of applications. So we said that, and we've been focusing on the packaging area, but as you can see behind me, all and everything that you see printed is being printed with our R2000 printer. So we can print a huge variety of materials. Okay, so starting from normal medias, that are the ones that would be that we have on the back, like the foam PVC and foam boards, which are the typical medias for signage. But then when we go to decoration, we can find tons of different type of materials that we can print. We said that we can print on wood, and which is one of the benefits in this case that you can see here is that our ink is so thin and flexible that we can perfectly see the properties of the wood itself. Okay, so our layer of ink is really thick and is not affecting the properties of the media. Thanks to this as well, we are able to print on different types of materials and creating really nice applications. So in this case, we have this aluminum, for example, this aluminum that is been printing with white under the lady that is surfing. So this area has no white, is keeping the properties of the material, and then this area under the surfing lady, we apply white to make sure that we have this kind of 3D effect. Okay. So this would be printing white underfloat. So by printing white overfloat, that is what we were mentioning in the beginning, we'll print the white on the top of the material to see it from the other side, as you can see on this acrylic for high-end applications. You have seen in the box that I was mentioned here in the beginning that we had a film inside. This would be the film that we would print separately. Okay, so we would use these films really thin that are not affecting by the heat of the printer, and we are able to print and combine with this application. Okay, and last but not least, we have the sandwich. Okay, in this case, we have example here of the sandwich in a clear self-adhesive. Okay, where we have printed this file at the same time from both sides. Okay, with a layer of white in the middle to be able to see it from both sides when we're pasting in a window or when we have other applications. Okay. One of as well the challenging materials that we have to print is mirror. In other technologies, the quality of the print is not as it cannot be performed in mirror to the lights of the technology that needs for curing. In this case, there's no problem as we are treating this as if it was a complete other material with no problem at all. Okay. So we have here more materials. We have magnetics. When we go on to roll, we have tons of different materials that we can print as we have here. No, we as a latex printer, as a be able as well to be hybrid, we're able to print the full variety of rolls that we have. So starting from all type of papers, including all the wallpapers that we know that are working perfect with our ink and are taking the best all the benefit, and then switching to the self-adhesive materials and all the PVC banners and non-PVC banners, switching then to the films and backlights as well, and ending up in textiles. In the textiles area, as we are advancing with a belt system, we need the textile to be non-porous. So materials like flag will not be able to print, but all the rest of non-porous textiles will be able to print with no problem. So as you can see, this is only a taste of the materials. Let me just show you a couple of latest applications. So this, for example, is one of the applications that we are showing our ink flexibility. Okay, thermoforming is another market. It's completely different, but it shows how flexible is our ink. If we try to do this thermoforming after printing on white or with color on a 1 millimeter media and thermoform with other technologies, we will see that the quality will not remain. In this case, quality is not affecting to thermoforming due to the elasticity of the ink. And last but not least, we see at the end in there, we have some puffs and some pillows and cushions. And we have here some others. This is playing with synthetic leather and other materials. We can do this as well. Cool and nice applications. As I was mentioning, this is only a taste. We had a huge part of materials we can print. The history speak. So we have seen the machine printing. So let's go back now to the machine that is just finishing the self-adhesive vinyl. So here we are. The machine is just about to, well, it's just printing. We set some files. So I can remove the outdoor table as well. And in this case, I would be able to attach the print to the output spindle. Okay, in this case, I would be able to do it. It's not needed as we don't need the tension in the back. It would be only for collecting the full roll. Printing at 50 square meters at 4 passes, at 6 passes, with, as you can see, without changing anything from rigid to flexible, only the material. So last but not least, the last message I want you to take for this R2000 printer, 3 main pillars. First, environmentally safe with our water-based technology. Second, easy to use. All the systems that the machine has to make sure that the operator has an easy day next to the machine. And third, the versatility of the machine by printing rigid, flexible, white, without white, and all the applications that we have seen. So said that, I think that now we have time for questions and answers. I think that Anil and Terry, we are all available for you if you have any question that we can answer. Or any comment you want to add, Terry?
Well, I saw a question which I actually don't know the answer to, but I'm interested to know, which is the minimum thickness. It was one of the first questions that came out.
There's no minimum thickness as we are able to print on paper, or we're able to print on type of medias that the thickness to the machine is equal to 0. So we're able to print on papers. So basically, we're able to print on rolls. So the thickness would be the machine detects even sometimes the thickness as a 0 if it's a very thin paper that we are printing. So there's no limit on that.
Okay, that's good.
The only limitation in terms of sizes, okay, and thickness is thickness maximum 5 centimeters, and then for width is up to 2.5 meters. There's no limitation on length, and as a minimum, we do have a minimum thickness of around 20 centimeters, depending on the materials, because the vacuum system needs to have enough surface to make sure that the vacuum performs in a good way.
So Ignacy, there is a next question from Mr. Kunal. He says, what is the size of the machine?
The size of the machine, the size of the R2000 is 5.2 meters, I think, if I'm not wrong, 5.2 by 2 meters 04, without counting the tables. They are coming separated, then they can be stored separately. And the highest point is 175, if I'm not wrong, with the beacon. Okay, so it's around 5 meters by 2 without counting the tables. If we count the tables, we need to add 2 more meters, would be around 4 meters.
So just to add here, Mr. Kunal, so in our series, we have 3 models. The first one is R2000 Plus, which is a hybrid printer. The maximum width of the media you can load is up to 8 feet. The length you can go as maximum, as said by Ignacy, you have extension tables, so you can take a maximum length. The second model, which is a R1000 Plus, which is again a hybrid model. So that is a 5 feet. You can load up to maximum 5 feet in the width for the media. And the last model, what we have is the R1000W. Again, a 5 feet maximum width, but this is only flatbed. So we have 3 models in our series. I hope we have answered your question. So there is a next question from Mr. Vaibhav. How many color separations can be printed in one go?
How many color separations can we print in one go? Well, at the end, we can, by our color, it goes all in one. Okay, so we are applying the layers. Our print heads are sharing colors. So we have our colored printheads are shedding, in this case, this one is shedding the magenta yellow. We have another one who's saying shedding the black cyan, and one is that is shedding the lights. Okay, this will go in one side, and then the other layer will be the white. So white is the only color that can go on other layers. So basically, we can, as a layers, we can put one layer only color, two layers color and white in the top, on the top or in the back, or we can have the sandwich mode. The sandwich mode has two modes. One is 3 layers where we apply color, white, and color. And the other one is the 5 layers. The 5 layers one is for dual side applications where we are using different images. Okay, these 5 layers, it contains, as you can see in the small picture that we have just here, is color, white, a layer of black, a layer of white again, and the layer of color to make sure that the opacity is as maximum as we can. So in terms of color, it's always one layer. In terms of white, we can use one more layer for overflood or underflood, or we can do the 3 or 5 layers.
Okay, so there's a next question from Mr. Vedant Patel. Is it possible to print on polyester, BOPP, and LD media?
Yes, the answer is yes. We are able to print on polyester. So the only thing that we need, as I mentioned, is that the material needs to be non-porous. Okay, so if we are using, for example, a flag, so the vacuum system will not take the material. So it needs to be a textile, for example, of polyester, but that is block out. Okay, that we make sure that it sticks to the printer. So we have in our library that it's open, that you can check in the media locator. If you go in the HP Latex media locator, you search online, you're able to select the machine, the R2000, and you're able to check which are the materials that are certified. Okay, so we have been testing a lot of hundreds of materials, and some of them have been certified. And you can select the different, you can filter by type of media, and you will see that we can print PP, we can print PU, we can print polyester, and in there you will have the type of and brand names that have been certified. If your media is not appearing in the list, don't worry. It doesn't mean that it's not certified. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It means only that we haven't checked and we haven't created a specific profile for that material. But if you need it, we are here, and this machine is meant to be for this type of tests. So we are always willing to say yes to testing your materials.
So Ignacy, there are a couple of questions. There are 2 questions from Mr. Mehul Panchal. The first question is, does it require any lamination? And the second question is it food grade inks?
Is it, sorry, the second one?
So the first question is, does it require any lamination?
Yes.
And the second question is it food grade inks? The inks are food grade.
You don't get the second one?
Okay, the second question, basically, the answer, unfortunately, is partly no. I say partly because, Ignacy, we're talking about food grade, so packaging for food,
okay.
Basically. Yeah.
Okay.
So packaging with direct contact with food, for example, takeaway boxes and things like that, where the printing may be on the inside of the box, for example, we don't have that food grade. Although when we have a separating piece of packaging in between, for example, a box with candy inside with a cellophane or plastic covering, and then a cardboard box around it, then it's okay, basically. But no, the direct food grade, no. Unfortunately, we don't have that.
And regarding the lamination one, so one of the advantage that we have is that we have this overcoat agent that we are applying on the top. This overcoat agent is in charge to increase the anti-scratch resistance to our materials. Okay, sometimes this anti-scratch agent will be enough for the application. Sometimes we will need lamination. In the case that we need a lamination, we will reduce to 0 in our profile in the machine the amount of overcoat to be able to laminate. Okay, we would laminate an application that we will stay outside for a longer period or a huge amount of time.
So I would answer this question in a different way. Generally the latex print doesn't require a lamination. Okay, it's all depend on the end applications. Applications such as vehicle wrap, or if you are doing a branding in high traffic area, the lamination is recommended. Secondly, the advantage with R series, if you are doing a lamination to the prints, you can just switch off the overcoat from the printer, so you can save the overcoat ink, and you print without the overcoat, and you can apply lamination for this required application. So operator, a production team has the full control, based on the application. You can utilize, you can use the product that way. The next question is from Mr. Mohammad Abdul. He's asking for what is the cost of the machine? Can you tell in Indian rupees? So, Mr. Mohammed, first of all, thank you so much for joining this session. As we said, there are three models: R2000 plus, 1000 plus, and 1000W. We need to understand what is your end application, what is that you're going to print, and basis on that, we can discuss about the ROI, which will, give you a broader picture about the investment. I would request if you can, share your contact details so I can reach out to you for a one-on-one discussion, and we can discuss this offline. Thank you. There's a next question from Mr. Kapil. What is the approximate life of one print head? After how much print length they need replacement? So Ignacy would like to answer
So
this.
this at the end will depend on the print mode that we are using, on the materials that we are printing. So, but to have you an idea, we are working the life of the print heads through the ink that goes through. So basically, the print heads has a warranty of 12 liters. Okay, within these 12 liters, we have a warranty, but we have an estimated life that around 30 to 40 liters. Okay, so this means that every 30 to 40 liters we'll have to replace the printhead. So the quality, as I said in the beginning, will remain even if we are losing nozzles because we have the compensation system, will remain the same. At certain point, the machine will tell us, hey, I'm not able to compensate anymore. You will have to replace the printhead. And this will happen between 30 and 40 liters, depending, as I was saying, on the speed that we are working, on the amount of ink that we are firing, and on the material that we are printing. But to have an idea is between 30 and 40 liters of ink.
So there's a next question from Mr. Kapil. Whether the inks are suitable to use for outside, direct sun exposure environment, and for how much duration?
Mm-hmm. So as I think that Daniel, you have already answered this question. So depending on the application and the duration, we might be able and the material to laminate if we want to protect. But the latex printers, the latex technology are meant to be already protecting from this for short terms, for months, and it depends on where and the material even for years. If we want to extend this duration, we might have to laminate depending on the material.
So just to add here, Mr. Kapil, latex prints can be used for indoor as well as outdoor applications. The media partners like 3M and Every has already certified those prints under 3M MCS and Every ICS warranty, which gives you outdoor warranty up to 5 years. So based on the certified medias and applications, you get 5 years, 6 years outdoor life. So I think that's it. I think these are the only question we have till now. So once again, I would request all the participants, if you have any questions, please reach out to us, and the team will be happy to answer all your queries. Please feel free to reach to us. And thank you so much, Ignacy, for this lovely presentation. Thank you so much, Terry, for sharing those slides, showing the success stories about across the globe. Uh, thank you so much, guys. Over to you, Rima.
Thanks.
Great. Thank you, all the speakers, for sharing your thoughts and great presentations. And I'm sure today's takeaway will be very helpful for all of us. And we appreciate you being here. The questions, we can, whenever we get the questions, of course, we can share it with the HP team, and then we can get back to you as soon as possible. So Read Exhibitions and Pack Plus Show, thanks once again for joining us today. Have a good day and stay safe.
Thank you, everyone.